Hello, hello, hey, beautiful people. It's Foster. I hope you are doing well. Yesterday on Inglês no Rádio, we had what I thought was our first Portuguese guest, but I was severely mistaken because I forgot about Virgínia França, one of our favorite people in the world. So if you listened to yesterday's episode, and I said that João was our first Portuguese guest, in fact, he was not. Virginia was our first. So today and tomorrow, we are going to play Virginia's episodes because I feel really bad, and these are just fantastic episodes, and Virginia is a beautiful person. So we will get on with the show after a quick word from our sponsors.
Olá, olá! Bom, o Cambly continua com a nossa super, hiper, mega parceria que a gente adora falar aqui para vocês. E como vocês já bem sabem, nós temos uma aula de graça para oferecer para vocês lá no Cambly. E o Cambly funciona como uma plataforma online 24 horas por dia, só com professores nativos da língua inglesa. Ou seja, você entra lá, escolhe um professor ou uma professora para conversar, para falar, para tirar dúvidas, para estudar gramática, phrasal verbs, vocabulário, conversação, o que for. E aí, você usa o nosso código de desconto, que é Inglês no Cru Podcast. Você vai lá no seu perfil, depois de criar seu perfil bonitinho, vai em minutos grátis e coloca Inglês no Cru Podcast. Dessa forma, você pode aproveitar uma aula de graça maravilhosa com o Cambly.
Can I ask you another business question?
Yes, of course.
I'm just looking for recommendations.
Yes.
You talked about really the difficulty at the start, building a good foundation. That kind of scares me a lot because we've been doing this for 3 or 4 years now.
A business, only after 3 years, it starts to show if it has legs or not.
Yeah.
Only after 5 years, you reach the point that you have your own customers, followers, people that like you and that will continue supporting you no matter the path. So the first 5 years are always ups and downs and always one step ahead, 2 step back.
Yeah, I think that's totally true in our case. The first 3 years, never
hard.
know what the hell we're doing, always freaking out about money and everything. Now we're kind of figuring it out, but it's like this transitional mess.
So you're doing it right.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe. So you talked about the difficult thing. What's your absolute most favorite thing about not being a corporate slave and owning your own business, being in charge of your own life?
It's the adventure itself. It's finding what customers are searching for, and I'm able to go and search for it and search to see if it exists, because as I only have made in Portugal and Portuguese creators, so I'm like, we are only 10 million, so I'm focused in a small country to try to show the best out of it, and independent projects, so no corporations.
Yeah.
So that I'm also useful for for those, because for the corporation, well, they have numbers, people. I'm the person that tries to give them then the most accurate feedback in numbers, and to try to tell them, well, if you wanna give the next step, you should go this country or that country, because these are the tourists that love the most,
Right.
and that buy, and that. So it's the adventure. It's the path. I really enjoy the path. Though not knowing what tomorrow brings, it really freaks me out, but it's also what moves me.
Yeah. What's
It's
the famous
also-
quotation? Like, the journey is not the destination, it's the
Yes.
journey itself.
Yes. And definitely that applies, especially to small projects, small local businesses,
Yeah.
all of that. Of course, one day I want to take this and show it and presenting it in other countries, in other
Take
cities.
over the world.
Yes. Would show that, well, we're small, we're tiny, but we have really great people doing great things.
Yeah.
And being able to be a part of it, to be like the one presenting them. For me, it's amazing, but it's really the journey. It's really the not knowing what tomorrow, and so you have to be creative. And God, I'm a programmer. I'm not a creative. I work from my brain has black and white. I studied psychology.
Zeros and
to-
ones.
yes, I've studied psychology because I really needed to understand why people keep pushing grace.
Yeah.
So now I know. Well, I know a little bit, but every day I learn from them because I work with creatives.
Yeah.
So it also makes me a better person. It teaches me things that for me, well, logical. It's the thing. So I'm learning every day, and I love that.
That's beautiful. You are absolutely a very curious person. Okay, so last business question that I'm just stealing your time to get recommendations from you. We have a phrase in English that we say wearing a lot of hats, which means you're doing everything. And you are always here. You're always doing a shitload of things at the same time. Is that actually how it works? Because in our business, I feel like I'm a teacher. I'm not a programmer, but I'm also doing our website stuff. I'm editing podcasts and all of these things. Does that ever stop? How does that work?
Well, there comes to a point that you can start telling other people to do it for you, but probably you will miss. And probably you will not be able, you will want to control also that part. So you're
Yeah.
not doing the work itself, but you're still there and you're still doing it anyways.
Yeah.
But I think that's well, that's something that it's not so nice when you have your own business, but it's also because it's yours. You, more than anyone else in the world, wants to know exactly how it goes, because if you know how it goes for real, you can work directly in that part and
Right. It's
and
your
take it over.
baby.
Yes, because I've seen a lot of companies and a lot of small projects being born along the years, and especially in the 15 years that I was running, that I was in the previous company, in my previous job. So there were a lot of shops opening and closing, and because sometimes people think that you open a shop, you just have to have great projects there or great things there, and people will come and buy. Oh God, that's so
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah. Build it and they will come.
Yes, and then ta-da, here it is. Well, if that happens, sorry, you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
So it's really, yeah, it never stops in the end. But you will
Great.
be
Good to know.
working gladly because it's your baby.
Yeah.
It's yours.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there comes a time when you can pay someone to do like that accounting part. God, all those small, tiny things that you can put someone doing it, and then you just have to go there and check.
Yeah. I don't even need to check. I'm really bad with numbers. So I'll let Alexi deal with that part. So I really appreciate the business advice, Virginia. This is a language
thank
podcast.
you.
So just really quick, I wanted to ask you a couple things about language. So obviously you speak English extremely, extremely well.
Thank you.
What
Thank
other
you.
languages do you speak?
Well, I only speak Portuguese, of course.
I only get ready.
French and Spanish. I understand Italian, but I'm not fluent, so I'm afraid of speaking Italian.
Okay, so Virginia is very humble. Your English is excellent. Your
Thank you.
Portuguese is quite difficult for me to understand. So maybe you can work on that. Your Spanish is better than mine. I studied Spanish for 10 years. And your French, I don't speak French, but when you talk to French people, they seem to understand you great.
No, they're really cool. They always say that I have a great accent and so and so.
Yeah.
But in Portugal, we don't translate movies. We only subtitle them. So it's easier for us to get other languages, to understand other languages. Then you just have to like it. And I love traveling. So it's really important to learn as much languages as I can because,
As
yes,
many
I'm
languages as I can.
visiting.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the coolest place you've traveled to? I hate that question. I don't know why I asked that question.
No,
What's
it's
one place you would recommend?
well, not that I've traveled a lot, but I loved Egypt, but that was one of my dream trips.
Egypt.
Yes.
See the pyramids?
Those are definitely not the best
I feel
of
like that's
Egypt.
the dumb question that
No,
everyone
it's
asks.
no, but
Hey,
it's
did you see the
it's one of
pyramids?
those things. Once I was there, I've been there for a week more or less, doing the cruise in Nile.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got to the pyramids that are supposed to be one of the most beautiful things in the world, I was like, so all of the things that I've seen, really? this is what you present?
These rock triangles.
Yes, yes. They have so many amazing temples, amazing, awesome temples all around in all the Nile. I would totally tell people to go there, and it makes us. I love places where I feel really, really small and tiny.
Yeah.
That I remember that we're just one planet in a solar system, and then you have so many galaxies, world like all around.
Damn it,
This was
Virginia,
so
you're
geek.
so deep,
This was so geek.
profound. It's not geeky, it's beautiful.
That I really love going to places where I feel really small and tiny because
Same.
yeah, that makes me want to go into the next adventure and changing again my path. So that's why I'm not traveling as much lately. So
Yeah. So can I ask you,
yes.
with all your languages, a lot of people say like, okay, I speak a little bit of French and I speak Spanish, but it's like, okay, your French is horrible and your Spanish accent is terrible. With all of your languages, as far as I can tell, not only do you have a really high level of the language, but you also speak with a really good accent. Do you know what tips would you give to people that are trying to improve their language skills?
Well, if you love music, it's the best teacher. Well,
Yes.
after you.
No, we love teaching with music.
Music. If you want to learn French, music. If you want to learn English, music. And then watch the movies with real people talking.
Yeah,
So
no
don't
dubbed.
please don't double it. It's just weird. Once I've seen Sylvester Stallone saying "Hola, ¿qué tal?" in a really, really weird voice. This was pretty much how he sound, and everyone else. No, Sylvester Stallone. Come on, he really has an awkward voice already. He doesn't need to be doubled. So yeah, watch movies and a lot of music. For me, music has been my teacher. I haven't studied so much. I'm from math. I've studied sciences and mathematics and
yeah, I
all
think
of
music
that.
is
So,
the best way to really
yes,
get
to
the
improve
sounds
it.
right.
Yes. Yes, and practice as much as you can.
Awesome. So Virginia, I know you are a busy lady. I don't want to take too much of your time, but where can people find more about you, about the store? Obviously, we're going to put a lot of links in the show notes where people can come. Not only is this like an amazing store and Virginia's awesome, but this entire street and area of Porto
Yes.
is definitely worth visiting. So how can people find you?
So you just have to come to Porto and go to the art block. Please don't miss the art block. It's an old block with galleries, art galleries, shops, independent shops that have the most unique things. Here you can really see what designers are doing differently, all with really great quality. You can actually meet the makers. A lot of the makers have their own shops here. So it's a very distinct part of the city. It's not so touristical, so no tourist traps here.
No.
Sorry.
No.
So
Honestly, I would
here
say that
it's
Rua do Rosário is probably my favorite street in Porto.
so you have especially Rua do Rosário. It's where not all, but almost all of the best independent shops are.
Yeah,
I'm not just talking about Cru. We have really awesome shops all
it's the
around.
artistic hub.
And
for sure.
in Miguel Bombarda, it's where you have all the art galleries in a small mall with the makers there selling their own projects. And jewelry and art. So
Yeah.
it's so that you can really meet the culture of Portugal.
Yeah.
And really talk to locals. We talk a lot.
Yeah. I think people have perceived that. Virginia, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Awesome. So I will talk to you in like 10 minutes when we go upstairs, but it's always a pleasure talking to you.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. See you guys very soon. Bye-bye.
Oi, pessoal! Muito obrigada por ter escutado mais um episódio do Inglês no Microrádio. A gente fica muito, muito feliz quando vocês estão aqui conosco. E você que quer continuar recebendo novidades e recebendo recursos grátis, vai lá no nosso site e você vai encontrar tudo isso. Além disso, você vai saber quando que Sound School vai abrir para se tornar nosso aluno do melhor curso de inglês online que existe nesse mundão. Então é isso. Muito obrigada de novo por fazer parte da família Inglês no Microrádio e te espero no próximo episódio.